It's what many would call a lost cause. Back in October 2011, a Baz-110 jet, a modified Israeli version of the F-15A fighter, took off from Tel Nof Air Base in southern Israel. Mere seconds after takeoff, disaster struck.
A pelican flew into one of the plane's engines. A major fire broke out. The pilot managed to land the plane perfectly. The fire was extinguished here on the ground, and the plane was then brought to our unit for damage assessment.
Colonel G, whose full identity is classified, is the commander of the Israeli Air Force's aerial maintenance unit.
We basically realized that this Baz-110 could not return to flight as it was. On the other hand, two-seated Baz jets, two-seated F-15s, are a high-value item for the Air Force. They're rare, used for special missions, and after much trepidation and an assessment from the commander of the Air Force, we decided to go for a creative solution.
That solution was to take the undamaged nose of the ruined plane, a modified F-15A, and connect it to the rear end of an entirely different aircraft, an F-15B.
The cockpit comes from a plane that was in an accident, whose burnt-out rear part you saw earlier, and the other jet spent 20 years in the desert as a monument. We took its rear end and combined the two parts. There's nothing like this in the world. We work in cooperation with Boeing, and I can tell you that when we first talked to them, they thought we were crazy because we were the first in the world to make this combination.
The objective of the unit is to extend the lifespans of the Israeli Air Force's aircraft, and its various projects save the country millions of dollars per year. While the technicians and engineers confer with American counterparts and others from allied countries, things are done differently here.
The solutions provided by the manufacturers or by the US Air Force fit their own limitations. We here, using the brains of our engineers, are required to provide solutions that fit our capabilities and primarily our economic limitations.
In recent years, vast amounts of both time and money have been saved thanks to the advent of the 3D printer, which has transformed the aerial maintenance unit's ability to produce badly needed new parts for old aircraft. Without 3D imaging and printing, just coming up with a proper design for a single part can take as long as a month.
The 3D camera in one take provides us with an exact model of the part, after which we go to manufacturing, which can take between a few hours to a few days in the case of a complex part.
The printer was busy at work during our visit as well.
This is a very simple sample that has just emerged from the machine, a mounting unit for an X-ray camera, which we use on the planes. I have here a more interesting example. This is a side panel of a Yasur helicopter. When it erodes, we have to restore the whole structure. A very complex and difficult process, and thanks to 3D printing, we managed to restore these ribs immediately.
They say necessity is the mother of invention, and in the Middle East, there's not expected to be any shortage of necessity anytime soon.